Hey class, today me and my group will be discussing the results of our experiment involving riding an escalator backwards. In doing this experiment, the goal was to portray the theory of conformity and the Ash effect. Having us as a group ride the escalator facing backwards possibly cause pressure to an individual that would also decide to ride the escalator in hopes that they would follow the group and also ride the escalator backwards. Our hypothesis was that our group size was not big enough to influence enough individuals or any individuals at all to also ride the escalator backwards. Obviously, this experiment had to be done at a place that has an escalator, so we chose the Mall of Georgia in hopes that there would be enough people riding the escalator when we did the experiment to where someone, if anyone, would be convinced to also ride the escalator backwards.
We had a total of 24 participants, 9 men and 15 women. First escalators we went up were in the food court. We went up and down them twice. The only reaction we really had was a guy did start going on the escalator backwards, and we had people avoiding eye contact and looking everywhere but at us. Next, Caleb and Harrison went up and down the escalators in Dick's Sporting Goods. The only real reaction that we had there was the guy was on his phone the entire time, and he was really the only person that was on the escalator. The last store we went into is Macy's. The only reaction we had here was the lady looked at us, told us she hated escalators, and refused to look at us for the rest of the way up. Some of the variables for this experiment were the time of day and the day that we went. We went on a Friday afternoon, so there were a lot of people there. It was also over spring break, like the last day of spring break for most counties in Georgia. So if there were a lot of students there too. And then the stores and how many people were in the stores is also a factor. Dick's Sporting Goods didn't really have a lot of people, and Macy's didn't really have a lot of people either. Did have more than Dick's Sporting Goods. And the fact that there were only 3 of us riding the escalator didn't really make a huge difference.
In conclusion, during this experiment, we were able to see that our hypothesis on individuals' reactions were accurate outside of one individual reaction we received. Many looked at us awkwardly and then looked away. Most paid us no attention at all and focused on themselves, their children, or their spouse. It didn't matter which store we were in or even the amount of individuals in the store. The reaction of most were very similar. The best reaction, although, was from one lady who smiled, laughed, and said, "I hate escalators." Then she continued to ride the escalator in an awkwardly fashion and then looked down and around and everywhere we were not. Although we got this one humorous reaction, most were not worried about our group or didn't even want to pay us any attention at all. Rather than confuse people into riding the escalator backwards, they stayed straight and looked everywhere but at us.